Thank you so much. It's a real blessing to be here facilitating the meeting for y'all. My name is Tenphel Lhundrub. I was named that by His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche, and this is our community medicine Buddha practice. My pronouns are he, they, and I am currently practicing on the ancestral lands of the Squaxin Island people. I'm just facilitating this meeting as a member of the community. I am filling in Lama Rod's absence, and he will be back very soon. If you are new to the practice, please introduce yourself in the chat. And if you have any prayers, please enter them in the prayer document. I'm just going to get into Medicine Buddha practice and why I do the Medicine Buddha practice with y'all. I work overnights at a low barrier homeless shelter in Olympia, Washington, and it requires time to recover from it. And when I get off work, I have Monday to recover from the weekends. And part of the way that I recover from the weekends is by doing Medicine Buddha with all of y'all. So to be able to participate with the Sangha at this capacity is a real honor, since y'all are such a huge part of my ability to be of service to the community and my own recovery process. Speaking of recovery processes, I practice Medicine Buddha in my own practice, which is not necessarily a transmission from any lineage. It was a combination of my own life experiences. I spent 8 years on the street struggling with substance use disorder. And I was able to experience freedom from the cravings associated with substance use disorder through the support of both Buddhist Sangha and the 12-step community. One of the very first refuges that I took in my own personal recovery journey was in recovery, unity, and service. I soon realized that to recover was to return to our natural state. And our natural state is the Buddha. And that the Dharma teaches that all things are interconnected. Nothing exists independent from everything else. So we have this unity. And then when it comes to the Sangha, there is nothing more than to be of service to yourself and to the community, which includes all beings, because we are all interconnected and everything contains the Buddha nature. So there was no difference in taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha for me than there was in practicing the recovery principles of recovery, unity, and service. When I got into more traditional Buddhism, I realized that I was taught that, my mind wasn't in my head, it was in my heart, and that the Buddha lived in the heart. So that recovery and tapping into the Buddha nature was actually just tapping into the truth of my own heart, the truth of our own hearts, which are obscured by various afflictions. While I was learning about this, the way that Buddha Dharma traditionally applies these concepts, I was able to apply both the Buddha to my own heart, the Dharma to the truth, which I am able to speak clearly if I'm in touch with the truth of my heart, and the Sangha, which is really my relationship to all beings inside of my own head. So I was able to apply recovery to healing my heart to unity, only speaking what unites people and not speaking what divides people. And then service, being able to actually work with the reflections of all of the Sangha, being all beings without exception, that I experienced within my own head, so I could apply recovery, unity, and service to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with my own heart, my own throat, and my own head. When I started applying the medicine Buddha practice of saying Beikanze, 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 and 3 times, I would apply the first Beikanze to my heart, being the Buddha or recovery, the second Beikanze to my throat or the Dharma or the unity, and then the third Maha Beikanze to my head, being the Sangha, most excellent. And as I would say, Beikanze, Beikanze, Maha Beikanze, I would try to remove the obstructions from these different aspects of my own body. All of the things that were obscuring the truth of my heart, I would release them with the first Beikanze. And then all of the things that were obstructing my ability to speak truth or recognize truth or unite, I would release those obstructions with the second Beikanze. And then all of the things that were clouding my head, my thoughts, I would release those things with the third, and then I would go back down. So the first Beikanze would be in my forehead, and then the second one would be in my throat, and then the third one would be in my heart. So I would move up and down, saying Beikanze, Beikanze, Maha Beikanze, and then back down with Beikanze, Beikanze, Maha Beikanze. And I would do it over and over and over again, trying to remove all of the ignorance and the attachment and the aversions that I had allowed or seduced myself into obstructing the clarity of my own embodiment. It worked. It worked so well that Medicine Buddha became one of the practices that I became dedicated to. And I received some empowerments from the Kenshin of the Drikung Kagyu lineage to practice specifically obscured Medicine Buddha practices, which are quite wonderful. But I'm not going to bring that into it. I really want to just bring it into like my personal relationship with Medicine Buddha practice. And as I moved through the heart and the throat and the head, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and I began working with these things, it was around the same time that I took refuge with Garchen Rinpoche. And he, in person, named me Tenphel Lhundrub, Kanchak Tenphel Lhundrub, which translates roughly to spontaneously accomplished the medicine of the 3 jewels, which the 3 jewels are, depending on what language you want to speak, recovery, unity, and service, or the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So through this practice, which I sort of integrated from my own recovery and from my own experience with Buddhist meditations and wove them together so that I would be able to live a more authentic version of my truth, I was recognized by Garchen Rinpoche for having accomplished a true accomplishment of the 3 jewels through this practice, which has always been contained because I've never shared it with people before. And now the container is a little bit larger because I am sharing it with all of us. And if that doesn't make sense to you, to move through the body with the different syllables of the mantra, you don't have to do it at all. There's no right or wrong way to practice. I specifically didn't come up with this on purpose. It just sort of fell into my lap from the Buddha nature or the bodhicitta or whatever it was. It was just the truth of my own heart, because we want to heal. If we can get out of our own way, we truly want to heal. And that is what the body wants, the heart wants, every aspect of our being, if we can allow it to, and not interfere with it, it will heal. And that's what I mean by releasing the obstructions. If we can just recognize whatever it is, and for me, it's always what I think I know. It's always what I think I know. I am completely obstructed by what I think I know. And if I can set that aside or get to the other side of what I think I know, then I have gotten out of my own way and I am no longer obstructed with my relationship to ignorance and my relationships with attachment and aversions. So the more I release, the more that we release by doing this practice, the more ignorance we're transforming into acceptance and forgiveness. And the more attachment we're releasing and allowing it to transform into compassion and this discernment. And the more resentment and anger and judgment that we release, the more we are allowed to transform that, and it just blossoms into loving kindness and this clarity, this wisdom of clarity and mirror like reflection with all beings without exception. And that's my favorite part of the practice. My favorite part of the practice is that for me, this gives me the ability to tap in with a power that is much greater than my individual self. It allows me to get out of my own way, and it allows me to transform my relationship with suffering into a relationship with an open heart and with wisdom itself. And I hope that that is what we all get to experience through our practices, whatever they look like with to us as individuals. My experience with this practice has been transformative. It is brilliant. The difference that it makes and my ability to actually skillfully navigate difficult situations that have the potential to re-traumatize me or to set me back into harmful patterns that come from my past. The medicine Buddha practices actually allows me to recognize in the moment what my relationship is with ignorance, with attachment, and with aversion, and to release those things from my own refuge so that I can take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Because the only thing that obstructs me from that safety, that security, that womb is my relationship with the three poisons. And that is exactly what medicine Buddha is for me. I got into this practice studying yoga with people from the Siddha Yoga tradition, the lineage of the Siddha Yoga under Muktananda Paramahamsa. And this practice goes back through countless tantric lineages throughout almost all Himalayan cultures. There really is no definitive origin to it, but absolutely every single culture of tantric practitioners in the world has a version of this practice. And as a result of that, it is very rich in mythology and lore, whether it be Vedic lore or whether it be Tibetan or whether it be, Nepal or Bhutan, Burma, whatever it is, this practice just carries with it an absolutely tremendous amount of non-dual traditions that have just held it in such high regard since, beginningless time. And I work with this practice on a regular basis, mostly with you every Monday. But sometimes I also work with it when I'm feeling particularly ill. And one of the ways that I'm going to do it with y'all today is the way that I do it with myself when I'm not using a sadhana or I'm not using a practice that was traditionally used by any of the traditions that I've been studying with. I'm gonna share that practice with y'all now. It's a guided practice, and the guided practice I'll speak for a little bit, and then I'll go into the mantra, and then I will go back into speaking briefly, and then go back into the mantra, so that I will be able to guide us through how the practice matures within my own personal experience in an attempt that I'll be able to share that with y'all. The mantra is in the docs, or could we share the mantras here? Thank you so much. So we have the opening mantra, which is a Lama Rod Owens, who is our teacher and our some of our lamas and guru. He came up with the opening mantra, which invites Medicine Buddha to sort of hold us in the practice that we all do together. And we're just going to say this mantra 3 times. Om Menla Sangye Kino So Om Menla Sangye Kino So Om Menle Sangye Kino So now when we get into the main mantra, I just want to encourage you to apply this to yourself and to recognize the ways that your heart is obstructed, or that your truth is obstructed, or the ways that the mind may not be clear in our head. The mind in our head may not be clear. And apply that to yourself. Allow your heart to release, and allow your throat to release, and allow your head to release whatever it is holding on to, wrestling with, or obstructed by. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze rasa sumugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze rasa sumugate soha. And now I would like to invite you all to think about somebody whom you're close to, a friend, or an acquaintance who may be suffering in a way that is visible. And just recognize that just as we all have this motivation to become free and liberated from suffering, so do these people. And we might not be able to support them in any other way besides our practice. I would just like to encourage you to bring to mind somebody whom you're close with and include them in this portion of the practice. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Sumugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. And at this time, I would like to encourage you all to think about somebody who is a neutral person, somebody that you may see around the neighborhood or just a member of your community that you recognize that they too have a relationship with suffering. And just as we have a desire to be liberated from suffering, so does this person. And this is a good way that we can support them in their journey. Bringing to mind that neutral person, let's continue with the practice. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Sumugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Somudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Somudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsatsu Mudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Somagate Soha.
Bekhanze, Maha Bekhanze, Rasa Sumabhyate Soha.
At this time, I would like y'all, or encourage y'all, to bring to mind somebody who may be difficult, somebody who perhaps we have been struggling with, someone whose behavior is maybe unskillful or harmful. It creates obstructions. Maybe not the most harmful person in our lives, but just somebody whom we struggle with a little bit. And just bring to mind that just as we want to be free and liberated from suffering, that hurt people, and that a lot of the reasons for people's unskillful behavior is based off their relationship with ignorance, attachment, and aversion. And one of the ways we can support them in their journey to liberation is through this practice. Bringing to mind somebody whom we find difficult, we'll simply continue with the mantra resuscitation. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, maha bekanze, rasa sumudgate soha. At this time, I would like to encourage you to let go of that difficult person and bring to mind your entire neighborhood or community that you are currently in, the city that you may be a part of, the entire state, and even the whole country itself. Just bring to mind the entire country and maybe even the entire planet. All beings without exception, plants and animal and human alike. And please recognize that all beings have a desire to be liberated from suffering. Holding the community, the city, the state, the country, the entire world in our practice, Let's continue with the mantra. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Somagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumudgate Soha. At this time, I would like to invite everyone to zoom out and view the entire world from orbit. Recognize that all planetary bodies, all stars, all galaxies, all universes, all beings without exception have a desire to be free from suffering. And if you can hold the entire universe in your practice and recognize that the universe is within us just as we are within the universe. We are a single drop of water in the ocean, and we are the entire ocean in a single drop of water. Holding our view of the universe as such, let's continue with the practice. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Rasat Sumukate Soha. At this time, I'd like to encourage everybody to sort of just zoom back into our present time experience. And wherever you're sitting, just let your hand touch the ground. I think that from my experience, part of the reason why the Buddha attained enlightenment after touching the ground was because being too spaced out isn't really good for anybody. So we need to touch the ground to come back into our bodies and be able to apply our experiences so that we can have skillful means and navigate our way through the world together. Therefore, I'd like to just encourage you to touch the floor wherever you are or the ground. Come back into your body, check in with your own heart, check in with your own throat, check in with your own head, and we'll say the mantra 3 more times. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Somodgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Somodgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsat Somodgate Soha. That's how I practice medicine Buddha. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share it with all of y'all. And thanks for being here, everybody, to practice with me all Mondays. It's really beautiful to be a part of this Sangha. And one of the things we do during Community Medicine Buddha is we have a prayer document, and you can add anything you want to the prayer document, and we'll read it out loud together, and we will offer the prayers for the community, for the people. I am on March 17th, so I need to find today.
Just go up in the chat.
Oh, March 24th, I found it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Here we go. With that being said, and thank you for helping me find it, we will read the prayers of the people. Prayers for gratitude for change. Where change happens, hope feels more possible. Prayers of gratitude for my beloveds, the ones I have now and the ones who have passed on. Prayers for protection for Lama Rod and all of the teachers we rely on in this time. Prayers for all of those feeling lost, isolated, abandoned, and orphaned. May they find consultation and community and in phenomenal reality. Prayers for my vocation and prayers for my earnings so I can support myself and my family. Prayers that my teen daughter may be able to diversify and increase her calorie intake. Prayers this divorce moves forward quickly and I can put down some of this suffering. Prayers I find build contemplative in-person friendships. Prayers I am always becoming the best mother I can be for myself and my daughter. Prayers for my sisters, my girl, and all the women in my ancestry. Prayers for H, for protection, connection, joy, and growth during this trip. Prayers for A, for peace and stillness, safety and tranquility in the domestic sphere. Prayers for M, that they choose to change, learn, grow, and open to their courage to let the rest die. Prayers for P, to let go of reactivity and rigidity and choose to access resources to get free. Prayers for my family, for integrational healing. Prayers for liberation from patterns of emotional abuse. Prayers for Lama Rod and his team, for protection and fortification, and gratitude for their immense work and generosity. Prayers for E, that her health may be fully and completely restored, and that her upcoming scan and tumor markers be normal so she can be entirely cancer-free. Prayers for N, R, C, J, K, and L. Prayers for Lama Rod and all the Dharma keepers and supporters. Prayers for all beings in all realms and timelines to be free, and for the end of all forms of carcerality as soon as possible. Prayers for the blessed community. Prayers for me to be free from the difficult situation in my home, for well-being and peace for everyone involved, and to be able to do good work in the relative for my individual and our collective liberation. Pray for my pain, free healing as I recover from oral surgery today and remove a tooth with roots down to the nerve and intercepting my sinus cavity. Prayer for our government officials that justice speaks to their consciousness. Prayers for favorable conditions for Dharma practice and swift realization for all beings everywhere. Prayers for the safety and well-being of all beings. Prayers for protection for the vulnerable. Protection for A. May she be protected during her trip and have a safe flight home, and may my kiddo heal. Prayers for healing for Kanai. May every cancer cell in her body be released. May she feel all of the love, care, and support she needs to be in loving relationship with her body as it is. Prayers for Paola as she prepares for her first ceremony. May she held and cared for by Abulita, Conception, and all the benevolent beings, deities, and bodhisattvas. May her life transform through graceful integration of pure loving awareness. Prayers for direction and renewed purpose so that I am able to embrace this precious human life. Prayers for Mark and his ability to regulate his emotions after I made a request for him that he did not like. Prayers for me to trust that I was not wrong to make this request. Prayers for me to feel safe in this situation with him. Prayers that I am safe from wildfire danger and all beings on this planet to be safe from the dangers of climate chaos. Prayers that my nervous system can relax, that I can know I am loved, and that I mean well. Prayers that I find safe, secure housing and an easeful transition. Prayers for financial security, prayers for employment that is nourishing and not abusive. Prayers for KT, may he be at ease in his body and experience much joy, even as he recovers from surgery. Prayers for Papo, as he navigates end-of-life decisions and prepares to enter the bardo. May he feel love and support enough to surrender. May he be gifted, feel complete clarity of the illusion of death. May he welcome with joy his transition home. Prayers for K and S, for their health and for the health of all beings. Prayers for Nadine's recovery from her injury. Prayers for Gaza. May the genocide end, and may Palestinians be safe and free. And with that, we're gonna end the practice with an excerpt from Shantideva's dedication from the Way of the Bodhisattva. We'll read it 3 times, and we can read it all together. I'll try to read it at a pace that is easy for everyone to follow along. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the farther shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed, just like space and the great elements such as earth. May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the farther shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed, just like space and the great elements such as earth. May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the farther shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed, just like space and the great elements such as earth. May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. Sangha, Tashi Delek. Thank you all so much.